My 8th grade year, the Lord called me here to Bethesda. And for me, it was like much different than I expected. I mean, I didn't expect to come to a school where farms, all the One Direction, the country music, that was like the norm. Ended up really just loving Bethesda. Um, but even then, still for me, salvation was never like a thing I had thought about. I would just go to school, do my day, and I'm out. That was kind of my life before. I was almost just going through the motions of it, not really thinking about anything in the realm of salvation or me and Jesus. So I went to work one day. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like my life just felt empty. I felt like I had no purpose in my life. Like I remember sitting there in my car just crying, like, what am I doing here? And for me, it was like, I remember I went through my playlist on Spotify and I found this one song by Steve Green, and the lyrics went, nothing lasts except the grace by which I stand in Jesus. And those lyrics just really hit me hard. And I don't know, for me it was like, Noah, what are you doing? You're so wrong. Like, you don't know what you're doing. So on January 13th this year, just a lot of things had led up to this. I remember I had talked to Pastor Piper about just salvation, the questions I had with it, and he was telling me just the things that, the truth, the gospel, and just the things that I'd been wondering for so long but never really taken action to learn about. And I started to understand, but my view of salvation was so wrong, and what I thought it was just not right. So Pastor Piper and I talked, and then coincidentally, a couple days after, Mr. Alsdorf, I had went and talked to him, and he invited me to come to Parkside that Sunday. And for me, I hadn't stepped foot in a church in years. I mean, it was just not something I do. And so I said, you know what, I'll go, I'll give it a shot. I went, and just being in fellowship with believers and just being there and immersed in that culture for me was just, I don't know, it had hit me so heavy. All those things led up to it, and I finally just submitted to Christ that Sunday, January 13th. And I can say it was the best decision I've ever made, because I finally, for the first time, felt a peace unlike anything I've ever felt before. I felt fulfilled, and it just made me want to start growing in the gospel. Like the fact that Jesus would die for me and just be there for me is just something I can't really describe or put into words. So I'll forever be grateful to God for showing himself to me. And my ultimate goal in life is to just give him the glory, live it out for him. And I want his story to be shown through me.